Torah time! The weekly portion. What's it all about? It really means something. What can it teach me? Turn it. Everything's in it. Hey, welcome to Torah time. I'm doing Torah time this week from my campsite because I'm camping and you see the big nice fire in the background. We got the beautiful stars above. It's perfect. And this is kind of how Jacob and his sons lived, out in the wilderness. It's like super nice to be studying Torah while we're out here in nature. So this week's portion is called Vayeishev, and it's a really great portion. It talks about Jacob and his 12 sons. He had one daughter named Dinah, but his 12 sons, and they were pretty interesting characters. Now, one of the sons is named Joseph, and Joseph was kind of Jacob's favorite. And parents really shouldn't have favorites when they have children because it creates all kind of trouble with siblings and this and that. But Jacob did have Joseph, and that was his favorite son. And Jacob made him a multicolored coat. And Joseph loved his coat, and he wore his coat. And when he wore his coat, it made his brothers jealous. And his brothers kind of plotted to get rid of Joseph. But one brother said, hey, let's not totally get rid of him. Let's just kind of throw him in a pit, which isn't so nice, but that's what they did. So they threw Joseph in the pit, and then some people came along and they took him out of the pit. And long story short, Joseph ends up in Egypt. And while he's in Egypt, he rises up to a very high position because Joseph is able to interpret dreams. And he interprets these dreams, and he rises up to a very high position in the palace of Pharaoh. But let's go back to this whole idea of parents choosing favorites and the whole idea of people getting jealous and sibling rivalry. We've seen a lot of sibling rivalry in the Torah already. Remember, we just had Jacob and Esau. Jacob was afraid because Esau was coming with all those men, and he had stolen the birthright from Esau, and he was afraid that Esau was coming to get him. And then we've had a lot of sibling rivalry. What's really important to note is that when these kinds of things happen, it can make us feel not so great when people choose favorites. And so because we have friends and we have family and we live in a community, it's so important that we treat people equally. We should always treat people like they're important and like they are special and that they mean something to us. Every individual has a unique quality that belongs only to them. Reb Nachman, who was a very famous rabbi, said that on the day you were born, that was the best day because God created you and nobody else like you will ever exist. That's an amazing awareness. Nobody like you is ever going to exist. Sometimes we think, oh, this is wrong with me or that's wrong with me. But the truth of the matter is we're perfect, beautiful children of a loving God. And we should treat ourselves that way, and we should treat each other that way. This is a wonderful lesson that we get from Jacob, his 12 sons, and the story of Joseph in Vayeishev. So I want to wish you a beautiful time studying in your classes, and say shalom from the campsite. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Torah time! The weekly portion. What's it all about? It really means something. What can it teach me? Turn it. Everything's in it.